Hi, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Molly G, back at you on another episode of Run It With You. And today we got to run about this video I came across, and it's this lady telling a revenge story. She caught her boyfriend cheating, she got revenge, and she here to tell her story. Without further ado, let's go ahead on and get into the story, see what she talking about. I don't recommend cheating. If somebody cheats on you, I think you should just leave. Don't get revenge. But let's see what she talking about.
My boyfriend cheated on me after 5 years, and I got some fucking revenge when I caught him. So, in the beginning, our relationship was actually picture perfect. We had each other on every social media you can think of. I even had his passwords on damn near every single app. Like, the way I caught this man cheating was like no other. So, me and my boyfriend would plan surprise date nights for one another. It was just a way for us to keep each other a priority, and it was just like a fun way to keep that spark alive in our relationship. So a little backstory: my boyfriend, he did not hang out with his homeboys. Like, it was very once in a while type of thing. So within like the last like couple months of our relationship, he would be hanging out with his homeboys like damn near every single weekend. And like something just was telling me check this man's phone, like he's probably doing something. So I did, and I didn't find anything on his phone. Like, it was like too clean to the point where I thought maybe he thought I was.
Anytime a pattern change, like all of a sudden you just start hanging out with your friends more often than usual, that means usually, a sign of somebody messing around, because if you usually, never really hang out with your friends, it's usually, a sign of, okay, you got something you ain't got no business doing, but you using your friends as the cover up or the alibi. And on top of that, it's almost the same as when your text conversations getting shorter with someone, they're getting longer with someone else. So yeah, man, a change in behavior and habits and all that is usually a key indicator that somebody being sneaky.
On his ass because I was asking him over and over, like, why the fuck are you out with your homeboys so much when you never used to do it before? So that phone was like,
And you can also apply that to, okay, now all of a sudden you're taking often trips. Now all of a sudden you're going to work more often or staying longer, working longer nights and doubles.
pretty wiped clean. So I didn't check it for like a good 2 months maybe after that. And he was still hanging out with his homeboys like almost every weekend. This one night where he went out with his homeboys per usual, and he didn't like text me the rest of the night. He came home at like 3 in the morning. Next morning, I had a gut feeling that something happened. So I planned us a surprise date night, trying to act like everything's normal. To this like sipping wine, canvas type of date night. It was so cute. And then we just came home, like ordered some takeout, took some spicy cubes. Like, I feel like everything was fine on our normal date nights, like what we usually do. This man ends up, knocking out on the couch, and I'm like, this is my time to shine. So I take that phone, I go through all these recently deleted messages. Everything looks normal until I find his messages with his coworker. And, there's some talk about work, but then when I'm swiping up, I'm seeing some messages of them clearly hanging out. She's sending photos of her at the gym, asking if he likes the gym set she's wearing. Like, they're clearly flirting with one another. And this girl also has a boyfriend. So, like, I just know this is too dirty. Like, and I've hung out with them. We went on double dates with one another. So I'm so
Let me guess, she's gonna sleep with the other girl's boyfriend. It's kind of like that movie on Netflix called Adultery. If you know, you know.
shocked at this point. I'm like on the verge of crying, but I'm like, you know what? F this. Like, I'm not gonna let him get away with this. So I took screenshots of every single photo she sent, all the messages between one another, and I posted it on this man's Instagram story. I tag her and I tag her boyfriend. If you're gonna play checkers, I'm gonna play chess. And let me tell you, everyone that needed to see that story saw it because I left it over fucking night. Everybody, everybody and their mama saw that. But I literally didn't care. Like, you indulge yourself in that, you're gonna face the consequences. The next morning, before he even woke up, I left. Like, I left his house. I didn't even want to be there. I did not want to just, have him yell at me because that's what he always did. Later on, he was like blowing up my phone, obviously because he found out what had happened. I answered, and like usual, he was just calling me such a bad person for doing that. Like, obviously, I don't care. I would literally do that shit again. Like, that is your fault. But I just had to share this story. It was crazy.
Okay, well, she get kudos to not cheating back. Now what she did, well, a lot of people agree with what she did instead of just moving on. I think a lot of people will say she was wrong for what she did. Me personally, I think if you could cheat on somebody, and on top of that, you're cheating with somebody who also has a partner, you deserve what's coming to you when it comes to getting aired out. But kudos to her not cheating, because I definitely thought that she was gonna send those screenshots to the other girl's man and tell the other girl man, hey, look, this is what's going on. Let's get some get back, and we're gonna give them a taste of their own medicine. But instead she said, I'm gonna just air the stuff out overnight while he sleeps, so it's gonna just be up for hours, and all their close friends, all their family, all their co-workers gonna know their business and know they pieces of shit. And I think that was, I think shit, you gonna indulge in, being, you know a piece of shit to somebody. You got to accept them consequences. And people got to understand, like, sometimes what's done in the dark gonna come to the light, and sometimes the light be way more brighter than what you thought it'll be. And that's gonna be a walk of shame that he's gonna have to go into the workplace that he's in. And it's just a pretty situation that they can't come back from, and they got to take it to the chin. But man, I want to know if anybody else have a similar situation that they caught they ex cheating, and you got a revenge story. Go ahead on and put it down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all did, and if anybody else have a story that they want to share as well. Even if you did get some get back cheating, like I wouldn't recommend that. I always say, man, if you in a relationship and somebody cheats on you and disrespect you like that, be the bigger person and just exit stage left. Don't cheat and get back, whether they find out or whether you didn't tell them and it just make you feel good inside. Don't do that, because at least you can know you was in that relationship and you took it serious and you didn't step out on them. At least you can know, peace of mind, you're a good person. And on top of that, they can't just say, oh, well, they cheated back too, they're a piece of shit too, they just as worse as me. Just go ahead on and just lead the person. um I don't believe in getting tit for tat like that. But if you want to air somebody out, definitely that's fair game, in my opinion. Because one thing about a cheater, I can't stand a cheater. And it's crazy, because I think in most cases, people who cheat hate cheaters more than people who don't cheat. That's the crazy thing. But yeah, man, shouts out to her. Hopefully she can know that having these passwords and having these social medias, all that don't mean nothing if somebody's going to be sneaky. One thing about a cheater, if they're going to cheat, can't nothing stop them from cheating. A lot of people think that, oh, just because your girl don't go out to the club, just because your girl don't work around a lot of men, just because she don't take girl trips, she's not cheating. That's not the case. A lot of girls think, oh, I got my man password, I got all his social medias, I'm following him, I'm in his close friends, he's not cheating. No, a person can damn sure cheat, and it's usually with somebody in proximity. Proximity is somebody they go to school with, they go to work with, they might stay in the neighborhood, or they see often in some way, somehow. And in this case, it was a coworker. And I think a lot of people cheat with people they work with, because shit, sometimes you around the person you work with more than the person you live with. The person you live with, they got a life as well. And on top of that, they probably got a different schedule than yours. And on top of that, by the time you come home after working 8 to 12 hours, you only got minimal hours with your partner, versus the people you work with, you're working with them, you know, for longer hours than you actually with your partner. So yeah, man. I also had a partner. He went through his girl phone and his heart just dropped, because this was around the time where you had the fingerprint to get in the password. She went to sleep. He put her thumb on the phone, and he went through her messages, and man, what he's saying. And some people go as far as to using the face thing, like open up the eyelids when a person sleep, depending on how much of a deep sleeper you is. But man, once you get to the point where you expecting and snooping and all that, man, the relationship is almost over because you just lost trust. And to me, trust is a big foundation of a relationship. But if you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what you're waiting on. Until next time, I'm out. Hit the comment section. Let me know your experiences.